Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to today's episode on YOMED. I'm Jifa, your host for today, and I'll be having a conversation with a licensed professional counselor and an assistant registrar at University of Professional Studies, Accra, and she's in the person of Mrs. Dadebo. Good afternoon, Mrs. Dadebo.
Good afternoon, Jifa.
Okay, so please, we'll be having a short discussion, and for the past few weeks, we had the opportunity to meet with the young students, and we noticed a particular issue or challenge which arises, and it was on mental health, which is academic stress. So we'd like to have your thoughts about academic stress.
Yes, thank you, Jifa, for having me.
Um,
Academic work is very stressful, especially with our level hundreds, moving from the secondary school to a new environment where they are not restricted. At the secondary level, they have time to eat, time to sleep, and all that. At the university level, they are not restricted. You have your timetable, you have your course outline, and whatever you do, nobody will say anything. But when the time for examination comes and you don't do well, that comes with its whole issue. So, and that's also not, doesn't mean that the continuing students also don't have issues. So academic level work is very difficult and can be very stressful for students.
Okay, thank you very much. And is it true that some lecturers intentionally make the whole studies very difficult or to stress the students during the academic journey?
I do not have the facts to say that yes, they do. But we are different people. People have their own opinions, they have their own philosophies. So I cannot say yes and no, but it is possible that some lecturers can do that. But right now, I do not have the fact to say yes to that.
But for myself, during my undergrad period, there are some courses that we felt were easy, but then we had the lectures making it look it was difficult, or the way they even explain it in class made it seem very difficult. But then when we have our peer-to-peer teaching and they explain it, we get it. So we feel like maybe the strategies they used that was not very good for us.
Okay.
So what about that?
Yeah, that is possible. Every profession has the arts and science to do that and do it well. And I know that some university lecturers, having gone through the professional education training, but some have gone through the ranks, like gone through as teachers. Teachers, I mean, going through colleges of education or training college during our time. And in the training college, you are taught to teach. But if a lecturer just did a first degree, a second degree, a PhD, the person has the content, has the knowledge, but the delivery is likely to be problematic. But those who have gone through the training as teachers, when they are teaching, is obviously different from those who have not gone through the professional training. So yes, I can side with you. And so now I know most lecturers at the universities are asked to do a form of teacher training where some of them are doing postgraduate diploma in education training, so that you know the pedagogy, how to present your thoughts and your content to your learners. Yeah.
That's very true because I think I had a few interaction with the education students on campus, and then they made mention of the pedagogy course they were taking think this semester.
Okay.
That was talking about the arts and science. So
All
that's
right.
very true.
Okay.
And then, so would like you to give us some strategies that the students could use to manage their academic stress to avoid the mental health issues.
Okay. So first of all, I would say students are supposed to psych themselves that they are in school for a reason. Sometimes you meet students and they are just there. And sometimes too, they are in school not because they chose the courses they wanted to read, but because family members or friends, mostly parents, are pushing them to do certain programs. A typical example, somebody wants to become an artist. The person is gifted, wants to draw, wants to do. But father says, no, you have to be a medical doctor. You have to be a lawyer. And this person goes to school. This is not what I want. I've actually met students who said that, okay, my father chose this program for me. Actually, I didn't know anything about it. So this certificate, I'm going to give it to my father. I'm going to pursue my own. So if you have such a student, the person is not interested in what he's doing. So there is stress and all that. Others also have been restricted in the house. You can't go out, you can't do this, you can't party. And so the university environment becomes a free zone. So once I am here and nobody is restricting me, my friends are going for party, I am there, they are doing this, I'm that. So at the end of the semester, then they know exam is coming. They haven't prepared. And so now there is stress. Others genuinely have steady problems. Some don't know their learning styles. They want to make it, but because they don't know, they struggle. And sometimes the academic environment itself can also pose a problem, can be stressful. So there are a lot of factors. And managing strategies. I suggest that apart from general orientation, that in the school setting, in the university, UPSA, for instance, when the first years come, we do general orientation for them, letting them know the school environment and all that. I also suggest faculties, departments also do orientation. And if possible, each first year student, if it is possible, should go through counseling. At least they should know that there is a space, there is somebody who is ready to listen to me, so that when they have problems, they can easily access the counseling unit. Then also, students are supposed to plan their study time. They are here to study. So their study time, their timetabling, tracking of their academic work. When it is time for mid-semester exams, they do it. End of semester exam. When students are consistent like this, stress will reduce, I believe.
Thank you very much. That's very true. So that brings me to the third challenge, which is the
Okay.
ineffective time management that they said, and I think you've already answered it.
Yeah.
So, what would you tell young students about mental health?
Yeah.
Or how to improve their mental health, either in the school environment or outside the school environment?
Okay. Yes, generally, there's so much stigma around mental health issues. And so we have to sensitize them for them to, first of all, believe that whatever they share with a counselor is kept confidential, of course, with exceptions. I mean, if you are planning to die by suicide, that one, the counselor wouldn't keep it. But if you share your personal stuff, academic things with the counselor, it is kept confidential. And so we need to sensitize them. We need to make them aware that there is that space that they can be vulnerable. And also, I believe strongly also that we need to train the peers. Sometimes when we adults talk to students, you've been a student before, they don't listen. But if we have the system where we have peer counselors or peer mentors, where they go and tell, oh, I have this counselor, and whatever you tell her, she's going to keep it. They will believe their peers and they will follow them. So, first of all, the sensitization, education, the outreaches should go on. And then peer counselors should be encouraged to talk to their friends. Here in UPS, we have peer counselors, and they really support us. So they move from hostel room to room, welcome students, and tell them about the counseling unit. And based on that, in fact, I've handled a lot of suicidal ideations that the students wouldn't have come. But because they heard from their peers that there is a counselor here, she will help you. So let us talk more. And I'm happy YOMED is here to do this, to add the voice to whatever we are doing, so that they will know that there is the need to speak out whenever they are overwhelmed about anything. Schoolwork, family issues, relationships, they can always come to us and talk to us.
That's very good. And then this is Dadebo, you raised an issue that's about the suicidal thoughts, which we also noticed during the interview with them.
Okay.
So we would like you to help us with some signs that would be evident among the students, that the parents or the teachers or the guidance, when they see, they'll be able to identify that this person is having a challenge with suicidal thoughts.
Okay. So some classical things. Somebody may be very outgoing, and then for some time you see that the person has withdrawn. Person is no more talking, not interested in anything. Some will start writing certain things on their status. Some will start giving their valuable items to people, and they will start giving some signs of life is not even worth living and all that. Some will be crying overly. And so when you see some of these things, we need to prompt the specialists or counselors. Then when we probe further, we are able to help. Sometimes some also don't show any sign at all, which is functional depression. They will show that everything is fine outwardly, but when they move inside, they are depressed. So that is why we also help roommates and other people to also look out for some of these signs. Then the roommate can quickly inform us that this is, but when the person goes out, you won't see. But in the room, they don't eat, they don't laugh with them. There's a lot of activities, they will not get involved. And these are all some of the signs that we look out for. And we so I read an article from Prof. Dankwe's book, and the title, I remember, is Words Can Kill, Words Can Heal. And in that, it really shows how our words can bring people up and how our words can also bring people down. So as an educationist in my class, one of the first things I did was that if anybody makes a mistake in the class, you don't laugh at the person. You know, sometimes students, people make mistakes. Sometimes some people are unable to contain the level of stress and the level of how they tease, and these people will just shut. So if care is not taken, such people will go with low self-esteem and all that, and can affect them in a way. So these are some of the basic things that go on. Sometimes too, people go through abuse in the school's environment. Their friends can abuse them. Some elderly people in the community can abuse them. And sometimes from home, sexual harassment and all that. Some of these things can also lead to people having suicidal ideations.
Thank you very much, Madam Counselor. I'm very grateful for your time and your input. Thank you. So with this, we'll put in much effort to create the awareness and also to get people involved to be able to tackle the issues of mental health. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Ifa, for having me.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining today's episode on YOMED. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.